Australians can expect the return of direct flights to the Cook Islands within the next few months. The country's Prime Minister has told Sky News Australians could expect an announcement within days. It was one of the first countries in the world to shut its borders, and the closure came at a significant cost. Reporter Jessica Maggio visited the Cook Islands.
Paradise in the Pacific. Hundreds of thousands of tourists are drawn to Cook Islands each year, attracted to its remoteness, warmth and Polynesian charm. Tourism accounts for 66% of its gross domestic product. In early 2020, it was one of the first countries to shut its borders to protect the population from COVID-19. In doing so, it also shut down its main economic driver.
What we had to do in that time was basically ensure that we protected as much of our investment in our tourism industry as possible.
Over the 2.5 years that we were closed, the economy really took a hit.
Borders reopened to the world in January this year. A month later, in February, Cook Islands reported its first ever case of COVID-19.
But because of our protection rates, we had no hospitalisations and we had one fatality.
It suffered one of the world's largest economic contractions. Its GDP more than halved in the worst recession it had ever seen. For a country widely known as heaven on earth, it had hell to pay for it. In 2020, the country's GDP declined by 5.9%. In 2021, it fell by 32%. A far cry from the economic success of 2019, the island's best year on record, with more than 170,000 visitors at 10 times the population of just 17,000. In 2019, tourism pulled more than $250 million.
We're probably going to finish 2022 on around 115,000 visitors. So that's going to be about 67% of what we were achieving in 2019.
And it's turning to some of its closest neighbours for help.
There's no testing, there's no quarantine, there's no vaccination requirement. All of that has been done away with in a push to increase, if you like, visitor arrivals.
Travellers in the Tasman make up more than 80% of international visitors, around 62% are Kiwis and 18% Aussies.
It has been a growing market, but a very significant one with Australians coming through. I was going to say they're better than New Zealanders.
Prime Minister Brown says flights to the islands have almost halved their pre-COVID levels, but there's good news on the horizon. The Prime Minister telling Sky News direct flights will return between Australia and Cook Islands.
We will be making some announcements on new routes, travel to the Cook Islands direct from Australia, and we're looking also direct from North America.
Can you give me any more information on that announcement?
You'll have to wait next week. Sorry about that.
Jessica Maggio, Sky News, Rarotonga.